Welcome back to another video of me playing some Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, I say that this isn't going to be me playing any like unranked matches, online matches or anything like that. This is just going to be my own little guide on how to do SSJ Goku's Ki Blast loops. Now, a lot of you, if you are watching this video, will probably already know that these loops exist. You probably even already know how to do them. I'm here just because I want to make my own variation of this kind of video, talking about some of the combos you can get off of these loops, as well as how to do them, as well as maybe one or two things that I've picked up that make it a little bit easier to do his loops, in my opinion. If you're like having a hard time with it, or having a hard time, I don't know, doing all three loops in the corner, or... But anyways, we'll get into that. So first thing I want to do is just show you a couple of the loops that I personally can do with him. I mean, I don't have to start sparked. It's up to you if you start sparked or not. I'll show you some sparking combos you can do later on. But hold on, let me just change this real quick. I did not think about this when I started this, so... Where is it? Here? Permanent. Alright, cool. Sorry about that, guys. So, if you just do this... Wow, I actually done goofed, but you can kind of like get a feeling for it, right? So I'll walk you through it as well as I do it. So if you want to start the very first loop, this is probably the easiest one you can do. If you start with just a single loop, okay? So just a single loop, like this. I'm gonna extend the combo because I'm weird, but... You can do something like that. Now, this is a bad combo. I mean, you know, you had to start sparked just to be able to do that, and obviously I went into other DHCs for extra damage, even though I have permanent sparking. So it's kind of inaccurate. But you can see just off of that one loop, where if I super jump like this, you'll get a more accurate damage calc. So like if I level 3, this will be what, 7500? 7600? Let's have a look at the damage numbers here. Yeah, 7500 off of just one extra loop, right? But obviously, I had to start sparked just to be able to get that, and you're connecting with the 5M, so it's a little bit like, would you really be able to do that in a normal match? Maybe not. It depends like what rank you're at, whether or not someone would let you get that 5M. But I just wanted to show you like what one loop variation would look like. Now I'm going to explain it a little bit. So if you don't know the notations, I'll try and put it on screen. I'm not sure if I will. I guess we'll get there when we get there. But I'm just going to start sparked. But just one loop, and the notation will be the same every time. But for one loop, what you want to do is after your 2M, you would jump like this, because you're in sparking, right? So you can just jump cancel your 2M, right? No issue there. So you can jump cancel your 2M, and immediately you're going to press S, or X if you're on PlayStation, or if you use a PS4 controller. Whatever S is if you're using like a fight stick. I can't remember the official name for it. But you know what I mean, like if you're a stick player, whatever you have S assigned to, you know, your Ki Blast like this. Or if you're on Xbox, I believe it's... Oh good. You know, I can't remember what it is on Xbox actually. We won't worry about it. I think it's A. Yeah, it's A. So you want to do 5A or 5S or etc, etc. And then after that, because you're in sparking, again, you can take advantage of sparking a lot here. So you jump cancel, and then you might not have seen all of that, but you jump cancel, you air dash into a medium, and then do your second Ki Blast. But you want to put a small delay between the jumping medium that you do and the second Ki Blast. So if I do this really quick, you can see I didn't get a combo extension. I actually tried to press... hold up, let me try... I'll try and spam it. I don't have my inputs on screen, but I'll spam it and I'll tell you, so... If I don't drop the combo, that is. Now, this video might not be the shortest of guides, but there's a couple of things I want to go into detail on. Also, you saw me miss my 5M there, so it wouldn't be optimal damage. That's why you want to delay the second Ki Blast, right? But there is another route you can do. So, if I was showing you one loop just now, I'll show you two loops. So, you can, instead of just going into 5M 2S and super jumping up, which by the way you do have to super jump if you're doing it off of 2S, because let me show you what would happen really quick. If I do it without, oh my goodness, this is going to be really obnoxious because it's muscle memory, but if I do it without the super jump, you see I don't jump high enough. But if you're not very good at super jumping, you know, you can just super dash and then you can do... My goodness, I'm not showing off what I want to show off. You can super dash and do a different route, so something like this. And if you know the extension for this, you can do that. You know, it's pretty cool, it's a cool combo. Not the most optimal in the world. You have to spend half a bar, and that cuts off your meter gain, especially considering you're in sparking. When you're in sparking, you want to make the most of your meter gain, so spending an EX like this is not the best. But anyways, we'll carry on. So there's a way you can do this differently in the corner. So instead of doing 5M, you want to try and delay the second Ki Blast as much as possible, right? And the reason for this is you need the extra hit stun, so you want to be as close to the ground as possible when you throw out your Ki Blast, while still being able to hit them. And then when you do your 5H, so you're standing heavy, it will still connect. So here I'll show you. That's what I was talking about you can do two loops, right? So instead of just doing one and taking it up into a BNB combo, you can do two. And you just do it by switching out the 5M for a 5H. That was mad, I actually didn't delay it enough. Oh my goodness. Sorry about this. So you can do something like that, and then take them up. Now, there is, I mean, I already said it has to be as close to the ground as you can. It's basically a muscle memory thing. The more and more you practice this, the closer and closer you'll get to being able to do it consistently. I haven't been playing this game a crazy amount recently, so I haven't had much practice on it in the past week or two. But you can see I'm still relatively consistent at it. It really does just depend how much you've practiced it before, because once you learn the timing, it's kind of hard to forget. But in terms of this combo, there isn't particularly anything you can do to make it really easy for yourself. There is one thing I will add, and this is kind of important. So, something you can do with Goku's 2M, right? Is because of the large hit stun you get from this, you can see it takes a while before Frieza actually gets reset, right? So what you can do, if you're struggling to do your second Ki Blast in the loop before the 5H, like if you're struggling to get your character low enough to the ground, what you can do instead is delay your first Ki Blast. Now what do I mean by this? I mean, when you do your 2M, into your Ki Blast, you can delay that Ki Blast ever so slightly. And you do that by delaying the jump. So you don't have to delay your Ki Blast input, just delay your jump input. So if I show you, now this, I would have to put this side by side, and honestly I'd have to look into how to do that. But basically the difference is, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I'm going to do it twice in a row, one with no delay, and I'll tell you the one with no delay, and I'll tell you the one with delay, and maybe you'll see a difference. So this is no delay. I actually messed up the heavy, but it doesn't matter, I'm just trying to show this off. And this is with the delay. You see how much closer Frieza was to the ground? Here, I'll show it again, with the delay. I actually put too much delay on it. You see, I didn't have to delay that second key blast much. I'll show it one more time. I messed it up again. You're gonna have to bear with me for a second. I messed it up again, that's crazy. Yeah, you see how close Frieza was to the ground? So I was probably delaying it very, very close to him resetting actually, which is a bit scary. You don't want to do it that late. But you can delay it ever so slightly, and it will make your life a lot easier when doing these loops. Because if you can learn that delay, it helps you a lot. And the reason it helps you a lot is because when you do mid-screen loops as well, there's a specific combo that I want to show you guys, and I've done separate combo videos, but I haven't explained them. So there's a specific combo, it goes a little, I'll see if I can do it mid-screen. It goes something like... something like that. There is a little more of the combo extension towards the end there. But the reason why it's important to learn to delay your jump cancel is to get Frieza lower to the ground. If I don't delay it, if I just go straight into it, I have to delay the second one a bit more, and that makes it slightly more difficult to get this combo right. It's not impossible, I didn't delay my first one there and I still got the combo to work, but it makes it slightly more difficult. Now, the reason why this is also important is because there's different ways to do this in the corner, so you don't just have to do this on the first loop. And I'll explain because I know you probably have a question forming in your mind right now if you've watched up until this point. The question will be something like this. But Mitchell, or but SSB Goku. If I delay my 2M on this first loop, I'm not putting a 2M in the rest of the combo. So how can I still do a delay? And the answer is actually quite simple. So if you're in the corner and if you can do all 3 loops, you'll notice that on the second to third loop it gets a little bit more difficult because the other character who you're hitting will start getting higher and higher up, and then you struggle to connect your ki blasts on the instant jump and stuff. So I want to explain. So yes, you can delay this jump cancel. This is completely experimental. I have never even done this combo in my life before. I want to see how much damage this does. I apologize for throwing this in the video really randomly. This is actually kind of a cool combo. I'm sorry. How much does this do? 9100? Pretty good combo. Not the point I was going to make. Anyway, so yes, you can do a delayed jump cancel on your 2M. And you'll notice from the combo that I just did is that after this first loop, the way you can extend the combo and to get an extra loop is by using your 5H like this. So you would do a 5H, jump cancel into ki blast, like, and then medium ki blast, you know, you carry on your loop the same way you normally would. So yeah, you can't jump cancel your 2M, but what you can do is jump cancel your 5H. And the reason why that is important is because of the delay that I was talking about. So if you're trying to keep them as low to the ground as possible, you can delay your jump cancel ki blast on the 2M. That already keeps them a little bit lower to the ground, which is what you want. So you can do this and get them into the 5H. I'll show you when I actually do it properly. Like this. And you can see I got the second loop. I actually messed up the third extension, but I haven't practiced it recently, so you're going to have to bear with if I miss that a couple of times. But you can see I got the second loop nice and easy. Now, you don't have to delay your jump cancel on the 2M. It's not a huge thing. It's more important to be able to do that mid-screen if you aren't just doing these combos in the corner. Because you can get some insane damage mid-screen, and I'll show those combos off later into the video. I don't think this is going to be a particularly short video because I want to go in depth on a couple of things. I just want to like emphasize a couple of points to help you guys out who are struggling with these combos. If you've like seen them and want to try and learn them. So anyways. But yeah, so you can delay your jump cancel in the corner, like I said, less important than it is mid-screen. because in mid-screen they're not constantly stuck against a wall. They will go higher mid-screen than they will in the corner, and by they I mean the opponent. Like their character will rise higher when you do loops mid-screen than they will in the corner. You can kind of keep them lower to the ground in the corner. But regardless, I was on about the delay. So, what you want to do to try and keep them low to the ground is first, yes, delay your jump cancel on the 2M. If you can do these loops consistently, after watching this video, learn to delay your jump cancel ever so slightly. It's very easy to do. You jump cancel as you would normally, but you watch Goku for like a split second, because you don't want to wait until then, right? You can see that's gonna miss. You want to wait, kind of like, the hit goes through, but Goku is still extending his leg, if that makes sense. You can see right there, I was probably at the end of the animation for the actual hit. Does that make sense to you guys? So, your 2M, it hits them, but the leg, like, Goku's leg continues to move. Like, it continues to extend. So you want to aim for, like, when he's gonna withdraw his leg almost. That sounds really weird when I put it in a sentence. But I mean, as it's still extending, you can wait for that amount of time and then jump cancel. Granted, I messed up there, I did it a little bit too late. It's a bit of a timing thing. You don't have to think about it like this, but this is how I think about it. And it makes life a little bit easier. Now, moving on to the second part, you may have noticed it if you're a bit more of a veteran player. But when you do your 5H here, to get the second loop, so when you do this, you do not have to jump cancel this immediately. It is giving you a smash effect on your 5H. Meaning, if I do this, it's kind of like zooming in, it's giving you extra hit stun. It's kind of like when you do a BMB, and that happens with 2H, but it doesn't happen later on in the same combo, when you use it again. Sorry, I'm going a bit off topic, but I just want to explain for those of you who may not have played the game as much. So why is the smash important? The smash is important because it gives you a bigger hit stun. It also gives you longer to jump cancel. So if I was to go through the loop, now there's something I want to point out. So I wish I could slow motion this, but it's fine. So when I got to the second loop, in fact I'll just have to show it separately like this. It's going to be really awkward because I'm not even sure if the game allows you to do it. In fact, I don't even think the game allows you to do it. So what I was going to mention is that when you use your 5H, you cannot, well, you don't want to jump cancel immediately. And the reason for that is because the heavy will send them higher. And when that happens during your loops, it's going to be more difficult to continue your loops. If you want to go for a third rep, it will be very, very difficult if you are not delaying your jump cancel key blast. So if I go through the loop again one more time, you can see, if you watch it back in slow speed or whatever, you can see that I'm delaying my jump cancel a little bit. And the reason for that is I want my opponent to fall down to the ground a little bit more, but not to the point of him resetting, because the hit stun will run out. But I delay the jump cancel so that he can fall down a little bit further so he's closer to the ground, right? That's literally just so it's easier to connect the following loop. If I wasn't to delay it, or if I don't delay it, if I don't delay anything, well, not anything, but you can see there, I didn't even get my following normal to come out. I inputted a 5H and it didn't even come out. I'll try it one more time when I don't mess it up. You can see it actually came out there, but my opponent was so high up, it didn't even connect. So I couldn't even go for a more optimal route. One, I don't get the third repetition of loops. And two, I don't get my 5H, so even if I'm not gonna go for my loops, again, I don't get that bit of extra damage from my heavy hitting them. Because normally what you can do is you can go into your 5H and then your 2S, and you can go into like a BNB extension kind of thing, but you don't get that if the 5H whiffs, which is like, your 5H gives you a good extra 300 damage there, I'm pretty sure, so it's kind of important if you're going for optimal, which is why you want to be delaying your jump cancel. So if I can try and show this off. So there I actually did 3 full loops, and that will give you a much better idea of what I'm talking about. Now if you go back and watch that short clip, I'm going to show it off again in a second. If I can get it twice in a row, that would be perfect. But you probably actually saw it in the combo, so if you compare when I was whiffing my 5H with how high Freezer was, right? Compare that to the combo I just did where I did delay my 5H, or I delayed my jump cancel after the 5H. Look how low to the ground Freezer was. I was even able to get a 3rd rep of my loops, okay? Does that make sense to you guys? I really hope it does, because I can't emphasize this, enough. Look how much delay I'm putting on that. And I'm doing it there as well. You can see Goku do the 5H, and just like the 2M, I'm letting him extend his leg a little bit further. Now with the 5H, it's less obvious in the animation that it's still happening, because let's say I was back here, or sorry, let me get rid of my smash. Look how low to the ground he is, and look how delayed my Ki Blast is on that 3rd rep. Just look at it, genuinely. So I actually messed it up there, I didn't delay. Can you guys see that? I really want you to be able to see that. So what's happening is I'm doing my 5H, and I'm waiting like a good 1/4 of a second. I'm waiting a while. So the timing is slightly different depending which loop you're on. So if you're going for the 2nd loop, then when you do your 5H, you're going to have your smash like this, and the timing is slightly different. But if you don't have your smash and you're going for your 3rd loop, I actually missed it there, so I'll do it once more. If you're going for 3 loops, wow, I'm even messing up the first one now. Give me a second. I'm just trying to like, hold up. So you can see the delay that I put on that 3rd loop is a little bit less than the 2nd one. There are 2 reasons for that, okay? And I want you guys to understand those reasons. So, 1, when you have your smash, you have to wait for that animation to play out. The animation of the smash itself, so the camera is zooming in on the heavy, you have to wait for that to play out before you can jump. And then, you also have to wait for Frieza to fall ever so slightly to the ground, just so you make your loop that much easier to connect and carry on extending if you want to go for another loop. Now, the other reason, on the 3rd loop, when you do your 2nd heavy but you don't have this smash effect, you do not have this, it is just considered a normal hit like a 5M or a 2M. There's no smash, it's just a hit. You do not have to wait for this smash animation to play out, right? Does that make sense? But because it is a heavy attack, and therefore it has a bigger hit stun than, say, a 5M or a 2M. It has bigger hit stun than these moves. So when it hits, you can still wait, you still have longer to be able to connect your Ki Blast. Just like you would with the smash, but without the smash animation. I feel like I'm confusing my own words a little bit. I'm sorry if that sounds confusing to you guys. I hope it makes sense. But basically, if you haven't used your smash, your heavy is going to do that. Wait for that animation to play out, and delay it slightly once it's finished, because that will help your opponent fall to the ground a little bit more. But if you don't have this smash animation, you do not like have to watch that animation play out. But you do still have to delay your jump cancel ki blast. I'm hoping I'm not confusing you guys. Now, I think I've spoken about delays quite a lot in this video, and in the corner it's not crazy important. I mean, it is, because if you don't do the delays right, if you don't do your delays properly, you will not get a third loop. So I will go through this combo right now. I won't delay the jump cancels after the heavies, after the standing heavies during the loops, and you will see I will not get a third loop. I might get a second one, but I won't get a third. I actually messed it up, so I'll do it one more time. See, like that? So I was inputting 2S to try and connect with Frieza one more time, but it actually didn't come out, because when my final ki blast hit Frieza, he was so high up that it took me too long to land back on the ground to get that 2S. So when I inputted it, I was still recovering from landing. But if I do it again, and I put the proper delays in, you see how much easier that looks? Now, again, these combos take a lot of practice. They do not come overnight. You might be able to get the first one overnight. I know I did. I promise I'm not trying to flex. I'm just saying, I didn't get these third loops, and even the second loop was difficult for me, until I realized about delaying your jump cancels. Like, did you see that? You could very visually see Frieza fell a good inch of the screen there before I did my jump cancel ki blast in that final loop. I'll try and show that off again. Look how long I'm waiting. Like, genuinely, between my heavy and my ki blast, you can see how long I'm waiting. Now, watch me do it without delaying it. I don't even get my third loop, you see what I mean? But if you put the delays in, you will get your third loop. It just takes time, and it takes practice. And preferably, you need to be able to do at least the first loop properly, or do something that resembles this, in my opinion. Because even that damage is very, very good. 5600 damage. Granted, I'm starting in sparking, but you guys can see the loop itself. If you can do this first loop, what I would advise to try and build upon that, if you're struggling with the second loop, is just try and delay that initial jump cancel. So if you're struggling to get past the first loop, you're trying to do the second one, but you can't quite get it, the timing on the loops is the same, but wait for this jump cancel a little bit. Put your opponent lower to the ground if you can. And also, when you do that heavy, again, wait for the animation to play out, delay your jump cancel ever so slightly, and the rest will come to you. These are not incredibly hard loops to do. When you add in the amount of delays that I personally add in, just to get the third loop, it will become more difficult, but if you can do those first two loops, the third one is exactly the same, just delay your jump cancel after you're heavy. Don't do it too quick. See, there I actually delayed it a tiny bit too late, but I've done that like once in probably 30 times throughout this video. Like, it's gonna be a very rare thing that happens, if it even happens. You know? You see that? Look how easy that is. I'm getting that consistently. 3 loops, I can do it consistently. And guys, You have to believe me, I am not the best player at this game. I am far from it, and even in terms of combos, my combos are not that great in terms of online play. Now, something else I do want to talk about, since I did just mention online play, is when trying these combos, if you have good internet and you play this game on PC or on console, whatever, if you're playing, when you're playing ranked matches or you're playing casuals and you want to try and do these loops, I would strongly advise, do not practice in 0 frame delay. Practice in 2 or 3 frame delay. Just trust me on this, because if you don't do this, when it comes to doing it online, it's going to feel very, very different. I just want to try and do it just to show the difference. So there, I messed it up. It's not too much harder. In fact, mostly the timing is the same. It's just that very, very small difference. You want to get used to it. It might not be something you notice. See there, it took me 3 attempts to be able to do it. But when you do this online, chances are, if you haven't practiced in the 2 frame delay, you're not gonna have 3 chances to do this online in a match, you know? So I strongly, strongly advise practice in 2 frame delay. I'm gonna remove it just for the sake of making it easier for myself when doing this video. So, hopefully that all makes sense and I've ran you through the corner combo loops. Now I want to talk about a couple of loops you can do mid-screen. And just for the sake of it, because this has been annoying me, I'm going to remove my assists. So I personally play Limit Break Goku. I love him on Anchor. You guys know me if you watch my videos. Now I just want to take you through some mid-screen combos that I haven't really found. I wouldn't say I discovered them. It was only quite recently, maybe a few weeks ago, where I realized that these are things you can actually do on this character, and I've seen multiple people do this kind of loop in ranked matches. So you might have seen where pros like, I think Wawa is a pretty good one, a pretty good example of this. So he has incredible post vanish or empty vanish combos with like Adult Gohan, Base Goku, SSJ Goku. You know, he's a big fan of those characters in my opinion. He plays them a lot from what I've seen. And something I've always seen him do, and you guys, if you've watched this person play, or even other people in ranked matches, you might have seen when they're in sparking on Base Goku or SSJ Goku. I'm not going to confirm that this works for Base Goku because I haven't practiced with him. However, I'm going to show you it with SSJ. So something you might have seen looks a little bit like this on a beam empty vanish. And I'm just going to show you the full combo with optimal damage, because why not? And you can level 3. Now I just want to show this off. I've done a combo video on this, I'm fairly certain, but if you haven't seen it, I want to explain this combo. So, 7600 damage off of a beam. I want to talk about this, because this is incredibly important if you're playing a Limit Break Goku and you have sparking, because this is something that can come up a lot, and I know a lot of people, when they're in sparking, this applies to Trunks players as well, when they do Ki Blast or they do Beam, what they will do, instead of optimal, which is what I just showed you, what they will do is they'll do their Beam, they'll empty vanish, and they'll do something like this. 4800. If I was to stack a level 3 on that, maybe 6500, you know? So they're in sparking, they do their beam. I'll show it off one more time, just for the sake of showing you guys. And I don't even build a level 3 there. But if I do this, I actually build so much meter, despite the fact I'm empty vanishing to the point where I build enough bar from 2 meters to get another vanish and level 3. And I get 1100 more damage. Now I can show you the damage comparison as well as the meter comparison, so let's just compare. So if you guys are doing this combo, and you started from 2 bars, you're going to finish with a little bit under 3 bars. Now consider that in the optimal combo, I spent a level 3, which you don't even build in that combo, and an extra vanish. How crazy is that? So I'll show you again, and these are applying the same loops you guys were doing in the corner. You can spend a beam here, vanish, do your little post vanish extension, and get a level 3. And that will net you 7600 damage off of the beam. Granted, that is limit break, that is level 3 sparking. However, if you guys play Anchor SSJ, you know that that situation presents itself to you quite often. I've even gone against people, not in videos, but when I'm playing offline, I've even gone against people where I've had limit break SSJ, I've had the sparking, and I have been able to do this combo online. All you need to do is practice. So, I want to explain the combo a little bit in depth. There isn't much you can do to make it easier for yourself, but essentially what you're doing is you're applying your corner combo, your corner loops. Even if you can only do 1 loop, that's enough. You don't need to do any more than that because this combo only uses 1 loop. So I'm going to go through it. You do your beam, you empty vanish, you key blast, you air dash, just like you would in your corner. So you key blast, you air dash, delayed key blast a little bit, just because you want to be closer to the ground. And then you can connect with a 5M. If you've done this all properly, you can even add in a 2S. You don't have to if you struggle to super jump like me. I say that as I super jump, but I'll show you if you can't super jump or you don't know how. My god, I say that and then I keep doing the super jump. So you can just extend like this, and this will net you good damage as well. However, as you saw there, I did not build 3 meters to level 3. So that 2S super jump, very important in terms of meter build as well as damage, because if that meter build results in you getting that extra meter for you to be able to level 3, it's gonna be a lot of missing damage that you're not getting. So it is important that you learn how to super jump. If you don't know how to super jump, you're gonna tap down on your D-pad or your stick, you're just gonna tap it and you're gonna jump. Diagonally, preferably. You can just practice doing this really quickly. It's a bit of a weird movement, but once you get used to it, it'll become muscle memory. You can start doing it more and more. You can even implement it into your combos, similar to this. I actually messed up my inputs there, but it's fine. So like there, you can see I'm doing 2S super jump, and like I said earlier, if you do your 2S, you have to super jump in sparking. If you just do a normal jump, you are not going to connect the rest of the combo. Now, that combo is relatively simple. It's not too difficult, it uses a single loop, it's off your beam. You do not have to just implement this on a beam on its own though, and that sounded a little bit weird, but I'll explain what I mean. So, you can do beam, you can do your key blast loop, take them to the ground, extend, you can get 7600 damage. That's pretty cool, right? I'm going to tell you, you can get even more than that. If you start with your 5M or your 2M, like this, you see you actually have enough hits done off of your 2M to get a beam. So what you could do is 2M beam, and you can get the loop again. You do not have to just do a beam into it. You're using that beam combo that you've just learned, but you're adding a 2M before it, and understanding that that is an option that you can do. So you do this combo. Now let's look at the damage, shall we? We're at 7600 before the level 3. Before the level 3, and the beam extension that we got earlier was 7600 after the level 3. Like, look at that, 2M, beam, and then the exact same combo as before gets you an extra 1700 damage. That puts you at nearly 95% almost Now I want to talk about some other combos you can do. So if you understand that you can do 2M beam in sparking and get that sparking corner, not corner loop, sorry, but you can do the sparking loop with the key blasts and get over 90%, which is absolutely insane, and understand that this is a mid-screen combo, then you will be able to do this next bit as well. So, Goku's 2M, you know, it's got a little bit of range on it now, you feel? So something you can do, well, you can't do this specifically because of that 2M range buff, but it's just a nice little feature. So if you get a 2M, you can do a combo like this, run up 2M, go into your beam, you get your sparking confirm, because you don't have to start in spark, get your 2M, beam, same combo as before. I'm pretty sure you can't get a beam here. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let me just adjust really quickly to show you guys the actual combo. So instead, you can do something a little bit like that. Or not, because it doesn't work. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've done these combos, so even I don't remember the optimal. But I'm still going to try and show you them all. Why did my light miss? That's weird. Anyways, you're kind of getting the idea from this, right? Okay, my light should not be missing there, but we're just gonna do it until it hits, because this is kind of strange. There we go. So you can just extend like this. That isn't supposed to drop, let me just preface this right now. That isn't supposed to drop, it's just a strange bug with SSJ. I don't know why exactly, but sometimes when you're at like a certain angle, there you go. So you can see 6400 damage off of a sparking confirm combo. That should get you about 82%. But the reason why that combo is a little bit better than the one I showed you in sparking earlier, even though it does less damage. So a few minutes ago I was talking about how in sparking you can do 2M beam, you can do a combo just like this, well, if it doesn't drop, you can do a combo like that and get 93%, but you're not always gonna be in sparking immediately for the combo. In fact, you might be trying, if you're on a limit break and you don't have much health, you might be trying to use your spark when it's beneficial. So you don't just want to use it in neutral, because they might punish you. Instead, what you might be trying to do is get a sparking combo, or spark when you're having to take a block string and you will need to get out of it, etc, etc. So what you might get is when you're on a limit break Goku, you might be able to get a 2M, and then go into this combo. It's not too hard, because if you've learnt the beam extension, then you should also be able to do this. So it's not that hard of a combo, I just want to emphasize that a lot, it really isn't that hard. Now, another combo you can do, there are a lot of combos with SSJ's loops, so this is why it's really important you guys learn these key blast loops, because if you do learn them, and you get them consistent enough to where you can do it in a 2-frame delay, 3-frame delay, you're going to be doing so much damage as this character when you're online. Now, this is going to be another one of those where you have to be sparked first, but it's just going to be an example so you guys can get an idea. Now, I haven't done this in a while, but essentially you're doing your corner loops and then going into your beam combo. So it looks a little like this. You see, I actually used my 5H there to get him, like, to get enough hit stun to the point where my beam will connect, and then I can get the level 3 finish off of the vanish and the, is it the dragon fist? I can't remember the name of that. But as you can see, 92%, really good combo. Slightly less damage than this, just going straight into beam. But I'm pretty sure it builds more meter. I'll check. I'm fairly certain that this builds you less meter. I'm just having to check these things now just because I didn't know that that would work. Wow, my bad, guys. Just give me one more attempt, please, if I don't drop the combo. Sorry, this is like such an unprofessional video. I've just kind of hopped on and been like, hey, I want to make a Ki Blast loop guide, you know? And then here I am making it, and I'm having to improvise a lot. So yeah, this does more damage, but you end up with a quarter of a bar. Let me do this one. I'm fairly certain it should build more. I messed up the super jump, we can't be doing that. Okay, it builds you very slightly more meter. So it's like, it's about, what, 150 damage? 150 damage difference? Okay, it's like 108 damage, but you build a quarter more of a bar. It's really up to you which one you do. Doing this loop mid-screen probably seems a bit more difficult, considering you're doing less damage as well. But you know, it's up to you. You don't have to do it. It also depends how much meter you have in the first place. Like, do you have the meter to do something like this with just the empty vanish? Because if not, maybe you do want to put this loop in. Because look how much meter you get from just this loop. I'm on 3 and a bit. You do this loop here, 5H, that's a bar right there. That in itself will give you the meter to get that empty vanish that we're talking about. And then here as well, I'm pretty sure you actually build 2 bars here and you spend both of them on vanishes. Yeah, so there as well, because the loop combo takes such a long amount of time, the meter gain that you're losing for vanishing, it actually comes back by the time you've super jumped up to them. And because you're in sparking, you gain so much meter per hit, you actually gain another meter to then vanish and get that dragon fist that you need to knock them down. Now, if you're wondering why you need the vanish at the end of the combo, the reason is very simple, and I'll explain it right now. In fact, I might even be able to show you on the first attempt. So, the very simple reason for this is just because if I do this, oh wow, it worked. I am shook that that worked. I didn't think that worked. Hold up, let me just check. I want to check because I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to. You never know, sometimes accidents happen. And I dropped the combo. This is going to be a very long video, I apologize. I'm just trying to show off everything that I have learned with this character. Okay, no, it actually does work. So if you don't have that meter to vanish and get the knockdown, you can just knock them down like you would with SSJ normally. It's up to you. You lose 400 damage, but it really just depends. Do you need that extra meter to kill? If you're doing 90% combos like this in sparking, chances are maybe you don't need the meter, because if you've hit them with a single beam or 1 or 2 Ki Blast prior, you're not going to need that extra 400 damage most likely, but it's an option that you have just in case you need it. And I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video in terms of Ki Blasts and combos. I've showed you a couple of more, not particularly advanced, but just ways that you can apply the Ki Blasts mid-screen as well with your beam extensions. You know, the beam combo like this, where you just hit them with a beam, you go into loops, this is probably going to be the most applicable combo, just in terms of being able to do it online in a match. But it really just depends to you guys, you know. It's up to you if you want to even try and learn them. Like I said, they're not particularly hard, but if you do want to get really good at them, definitely practice delaying your jump cancels. I said this earlier, I'll say it again. These mid-screen combos are more difficult than the corner combos because your opponent raises higher up. I wasn't mentioning this when I was doing like the beam extensions, and the reason for that is you're actually just trying to use the loop to get down to the ground. You're still doing the same delays as normal with the Ki Blast. The second Ki Blast, you still delay it, but because you're not on the ground, you don't need to delay any jump cancels in the first place. But if you're doing this loop mid-screen, if you're doing something like that, then yes, you do want to delay your jump cancel. The reason why, if I do this straight away, you can see I don't get the 5H. If I do the delay normally, but I don't delay my jump cancel, you can get the 5H, but it's a little bit more difficult, it's a little bit less consistent. If you can implement the delayed jump cancel on that 2M, look how low Frieza was to the ground during that combo. That to me seems so much easier, because if they're lower to the ground, you're standing heavy when you've finished your first loop, it cannot miss them unless you have messed up the delay on your second Ki Blast. And like I've said, once you have practiced this and put the time into these loops, you literally will not mess up. Like genuinely, yes, you'll mess up if you're trying to do a more complicated version. Yes, the frames might spike online and that might cause you to drop a combo. However, once you have learned the timing of each of the delays, it will become very, very easy for you to learn to add more repetitions, to do the mid-screen. You'll get that beam extension. That beam extension is probably the easiest combo in this video, just because, you know, you can do it whenever, especially online. The only combo I haven't particularly spoken about is applying your beam combo in the corner, because you can actually do 2 reps and then do your beam. I think I showed this earlier in the video just purely on accident, but you can do something like this. Like, you can do that. If you're in the corner and you get the corner loops, you can do 2 repetitions, get your standing heavy, and then go into your beam combo. You can see how all of these loop combos, they go hand in hand with each other. If you're doing 5H to carry on the next loop, you can change the loop, screw the loop, you can go into a beam, empty vanish, do your loop that way, because that beam is going to do more damage than the loop, and then you're empty vanishing and still getting the loop back down to the ground, and then you can extend it again when you go back up. You guys see how that works? You can, like, you definitely cannot get 4. You can't do, oh, I know then, so I'll delay my 5H enough to the point where on the 3rd loop I can get another one. Hold up. I just want to show this because it's not possible, which is kind of dumb when you think about it, because how can I show something that's not possible? But what I'm trying to show off is the fact that if you hit all 3 loops, you can't get a beam off of it. The hit stun will be too high as far as I'm aware. This might take a while. But this video has already taken a while, so if you're really still watching, you're probably still, like, you probably don't care about how much time you're wasting at this point. Bear with me for just 1 second. Can I stop dropping that second loop? Holy. I'm actually messing up my timing real bad here. What the heck? Hold up. Okay, so there my second Ki Blast didn't come out. I want to try it one more time, because what should happen once I've done that loop after the beam, so you can do 3 reps of loops into the beam, I just showed that. But what should happen is when you go back up after landing, it should drop before you get the vanish extension, if I'm not mistaken. But this combo is very difficult. You've seen how many times I've dropped it. I mean, it's not very difficult, it's just I'm trying to talk at the same time and it's really messing up my timing. So I should probably shut up for a second. Yeah, so there, when I do the delay for the second Ki Blast, the hit stun, because the combo has already gone on for so many hits, the hit stun will be so small, it will be so short that you don't even have a big enough hit stun to delay your second Ki Blast, meaning you can't go back up to it. So you cannot do 3 reps of loops into beam and expect to finish that combo. It's not doable, you can't do it, it's not an extension that's possible. You can do 2 reps into beam in the corner, you can do 1 rep mid-screen into the beam and get 90%. Pretty much any of these loop combos will get you 90%. Now, to finish this video off, I'm not going to explain this one. It's kind of just a culmination of everything really. Or at least if I remember correctly it is. So you should be able to do something a little bit like this. When I remember that I need to dash up for this. Wow, I messed up. Hold up. This is one of those where you have to bear with me for a second, but it'll be worth it. When I don't accidentally vanish. What am I doing? Okay, there you go. Now, I don't think this nets you the highest amount of damage that you can get off of that. So you can see it does a tiny bit under 90%. You can instead remove the first rep of loops, but you will build less meter. So I'll show that off as well. So you can do this. I'm pretty sure I actually showed it earlier, you just go straight into beam. Oh my goodness, you capture. Okay, I forgot that you capture smash. That's interesting. So yeah, you can go straight into this. Still have your smash. Get all that. Oh wait, this actually is doing way less damage. Okay, but plus the 400 from the second vanish. I'm sorry that I'm like improvising combos here, I just want to show you like every route I've learned, and this is one of them. But it's been a while since I've done it, so I can't remember like the most optimal version. But from all the combos in this video, you should have a very good idea of like all the things you can do. Okay, so yeah, you can't beam there. You can probably do a light flurry kick vanish, and then quarter forward medium, all that good stuff, get an extra 400 damage. So you'll get like 86%, but it does seem like the most optimal sparking confirm combo is where you do this, you dash up, you do your loop into beam extension. Okay, now that I've finally been through everything, hopefully this combo has helped you guys. Hopefully this has helped those of you who want to pick up SSJ Goku again. I know, there are a lot of videos out there talking about SSJ Goku, his loops, and some of the combos you can do with them. I just wanted to make my own spin-off, my own version of those videos, because I felt like while they do showcase some pretty good combos, they don't really go through them very much. I know there are a lot of videos out there on YouTube that you can have a look at, and they will do the Ki Blast loops, or they will do some sort of combo that involves SSJ Goku's loops, and they won't have someone speaking over it. What they'll do is they'll put the notations on, and they'll like slow motion combos, whatever. I should slow mo my combos really, so that I can like voice over it. But I just kind of wanted to talk you guys through everything that I've found. There is actually one more thing that I have missed out. Really quickly, I'm going to add it in. So this is just something small. You don't have to spark for this. Sorry that I'm adding in something else, I just remembered. So you don't have to be sparked for this, and it's kind of a biggie. This is something you can do all the time, and a lot of people know that this exists, but they don't know about the little tip that I'm going to give you guys for it. So a lot of people have seen Super Saiyan Gokus do a combo that involves a loop in the BNB. And it looks something like that. Sorry if this takes me another second to do, it's been a while. So you can see there I did it properly. Now if you missed what happened, when I super dashed, I actually got another rep of normals in the air. And if you're wondering how you do that, what you do is, when you 2H, instead of jumping diagonally up towards them, you jump diagonally backwards. Well, you still go up, but you jump diagonally backwards. So if I'm facing right, that would be a 7, I believe, on your D-pad. So like a 7, I have no idea what you would call that, but your air dash will be like pointing in the direction of 7, if you know your like keypad numbers for your D-pad. But what I do to make this much easier, and you might have seen it, I actually messed it up there, I delayed it too much. When you do a super dash, because super dash has a good hit stun, in my opinion, what you can do is don't hit them straight away. I know it sounds weird, I'll explain. So you want to go medium, light, light, right? Like you normally would. But you want to delay that. So you do super dash, delay, medium, light, light, and it makes doing this combo, especially online, so much easier. Because what I've had happen to me a lot of times is when I try this combo without the delay, and I do it like this, on small sized characters, and this could still apply for when I do it, like even with the super dash delayed normals, is what generally happens is when I jump out backwards and I do the delay between the light and the medium, you can even see it happening to Ginyu, is my character gets sent so high up that my medium doesn't even connect with the opponent. Instead, the medium goes above their head because I'm doing the delay too much, and there, when I don't do the delay enough, I don't get the momentum to go across and carrying on hitting Ginyu with normals. If you haven't seen this combo before, I apologize, but you've seen it now if you haven't already. This is something you can do without sparking, but let me show you mine again and you'll see the difference. So because I'm delaying my normals, I'm kind of falling ever so slightly when I do my medium light light initially. If I delay them, I'm falling beneath him, and then when I delay my light medium, I don't even have to delay it that much. Like the delay for the light medium, when I've jumped backwards, I can delay it less than I normally would have to, because my momentum is already going up when I do it, thanks to my delayed super dash. I know you guys might not need that lengthy explanation, but I just thought I would explain how it actually works, for those of you wondering why this is the better way to do it. Once you've practiced this, trust me, you'll realize it's so much more consistent than just super dashing and doing your normals like this. Like there, I got it, but if that was a smaller sized character, my medium, it would go straight above him. But here, I do my delayed. I actually delayed it too much, so that's my fault. But if I delay after my super dash, I delayed it too much again. So that's one downside. You delay it too much and your character's going to be too low. But trust me, this is more consistent. I've been able to do this online, and I don't think the normal variation of this, I've ever been able to do it online. I don't think I've ever done it. But when I've delayed it, when I've delayed my normals after the super dash, I've hit this quite consistently online when I've been practicing the game a lot. So trust me guys, if you practice this, it adds... I mean, I know I'm on limit break right now, but let me just show you an example. So if I do this combo, I get 5142. Now let's have a look at the damage when we do it. I actually messed it up, I apologize. So 5142. Why am I messing this up? Holy, I am so sorry guys that this has taken me a while. I don't know why I'm messing it up all of a sudden. I've literally just done it several times for you guys, and now that I want to do a damage comparison, I can't do it. Okay, last attempt. That one. Oh, why did I go into the beam? I'm sorry, every time I do this combo I normally go into beam extension with the vanish. So I'm very used to doing that. But you can see there, even before I finish the combo, I'm at 5k. I will do this in this video before we end, I promise. I know this has been a very long video, but... Okay, there we go. 5490. You get an extra 348 damage from that. And you can do that really consistently. I know I've just messed it up a bunch of times, but I've also showed it off a bunch of times. It's just because I haven't practiced this character as much recently due to me playing the game a little bit less than normal. But it is very consistent once you guys have figured it out. Now, I'm well aware... Oh my goodness. This video has been an hour long. I am so sorry for that. I really should have edited this video. However, I just want to talk you through all the combos I found, how to do them, everything I found that can help you learn these combos. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get complained at because it's going to be an incredibly long video. But I personally don't think that these 5-minute videos on YouTube, where all you get is the notations and no explanation for what's going on, or tips to help you know what's going on, will like get you to understand these combos properly. You might be able to figure it out from them after a while of practicing and comparing what you're doing to them, but hopefully me going over and explaining everything I'm doing and how it all works and stuff like that will help you learn these combos much more easily, as well as all the different combos that I've showed off in this video will give you like something to work towards learning with this character. Because yes, you might be able to do 1 repetition of loops. Why not do 2 repetition? Why not even 3? Why not even do 2 and then go into a beam and do like empty vanish loops for even more damage? Why not learn a 90% sparking confirmed combo where you don't have to spark, where you don't have to be sparked beforehand and you get 90% out of it, and a heck of a lot of meter build. You know? Maybe that's just me, I don't know. This is going to be an extremely lengthy video, I apologise for that. Maybe none of you make it to the end, but hopefully for those of you who have, will be able to pick up these combos nice and quickly. That's all I've got to say. I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I know I was talking for an extremely long period of time. I honestly had no idea. I did not mean to make this video this long. I apologise. However, I hope this all helps, and that's going to be it from me. So I'll see you in the next video.